take that and condense that into that yin space until you need to pull it out. So now this is the first part of the inner alchemy training, right? Sinking the mind into the Dantian. You're on, my good brother. Instead of letting it go into the head, you let that settle down and you follow it.
I don't know, so, man. I just want to take a sleep. I just want to take a nap.
That's what happens. Yeah, that's it's up to you, my brother. Yeah, I can see it. How you want to roll?
We rolling right now.
Come on in, family. Let's roll.
You ready for this moving MaBu demonstration, Marcus?
Oh, yes.
Let's get it.
I don't see anything. Are we on?
You don't see anything?
Oh, we're on. Where should I be? Where should he be?
Let's see.
Hey, moving MaBu.
The feet are going to get caught on these last two.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right
the
where
theme basically here is like just going back to the basics. Very, very basic.
Mm.
So in the world of Gong Fu, we would call that like eating bitter. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But the way that we go about doing it in the Tai Chi fashion, it's a little bit different, but the results end up being the same. Both ways to get you there, right? But there's basic stances, no matter if you're doing internal, they call it internal, or external Gong Fu. They all have basic stances. But what happens, man, just to give a quick, as the arts moved from the east to the west, it kind of got diluted in various ways. And one way was it just became like a form, where, you know, just doing the Tai Chi form, the basic movements. That was it. But it was done for a different purpose. But over there in the east, the purpose was more than just as an exercise. So they did more than just a form. They built a foundation. You know, it was the same principle as the harder style of Kung Fu.
Right. There was actually a rumor told to us by my Kung Fu master when the Chinese brought the Sum Chien, which is our core form in a lot of Kung Fu stuff. It's that one I was showing you, Marcus. They neglected.
We're going the other way.
Yeah, we are, absolutely. They neglected the entire practice of the moving chi that came along with it, so they only taught the face value stuff.
Right, so a lot of the external styles, as he was saying, or external systems, they don't necessarily get into the, I'll say the energetic points, because, you know, everything comes from nowhere, and there's a deep principle behind that, and I don't really want to get into it. But just energy can do things that it's all energy anyway. But we look at energy from a very fine perspective, and we really analyze that and how that representation take place in our body first. So first we learn how to do things right within ourselves. How do we center ourselves? How do we find ourselves? So we use postures. We use certain specific stances.
Right.
So the first basic stance is MaBu. That's the horse stance. So we train that horse stance from a place of stillness, because everything comes from nothing. And then from there, how long can you stay in that MaBu, the proper MaBu? Well, very basic, low level, 2 minutes.
Gotcha. And there's a pretty heavy emphasis on keeping the tailbone in line with the crown.
You got to keep the whole Tai Chi posture in place. You got to have the Tai Chi pole and the center line vertical. You got to be sung. There's a lot of principles. So you see a lot of people doing the MaBu, and they won't maintain those principles. They'll be leaning forward, especially once they get into moving, because if the legs aren't strong, the shoulders will simply begin to take over, and that is the shoulders pulling you forward, because they're trying to help you move. But once we learn to just go through that for a little while, we call it eating bitter. Once you go through eating a little bitter, it's not as bad anymore. So you start off aggressively, and you build up to it. Now, from my personal practice, I learned that by having a separate meditation practice, like sitting or standing, preferably sitting, because in sitting you can really you can really let go. And to take that into the more physical stance training, and I'll tell you why. Because when you can go into that meditative state of mind while doing that, you can ignore the pain more.
Yeah.
And then the pain will subside quickly.
Absolutely.
But if your mind is used to like jumping on the things, we don't understand. We'll jump on every sensation. And pain is one of the first gatekeepers. If you can't get past that, and it doesn't come from fighting back, you call it letting go. That's the internal way. So we have to learn to melt. And we use the breath to breathe into that posture. Now, MaBu can be done high, medium, or low. And Sifu says we should always go back to the low. We should always go back to the low. Going low will make the high stance better. So as we get older, naturally, we're probably going to begin to walk higher. But if we've been training low more, we'll have more of a root as we naturally take the higher stance. So you'll see a lot of the older martial artists, they don't get deep in their stance. They don't need to. They're just as rooted as you are because they've been playing low their whole life.
So what is this moving MaBu, Sifu?
The moving MaBu. Let me get Marcus Brimage. Soul is here helping me out today.
Marcus Brimage, the Yoga Ninja.
Yoga Ninja's always on time. We should go here with it. Yes, sir. Welcome. Come on in, family.
Just dropped this YouTube channel, Marcus did, earlier today.
Thank you, my good brother. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, do me a favor, brother. Could you hand me that tea?
Yes, absolutely.
My mouth is getting dry. Thank you, my good brother. So, family, I'm going to help. Marcus is actually going to help me, help you with the first stance, which is the stationary MaBu. And he'll help me demonstrate it high, medium, and low. Now, when you're young and healthy, low for sure should be your goal. Now, if you're getting older, and I don't mean older, you can start at 40, whatever, but you just have to make sure that you're not damaging your knees and stuff like that. So don't force yourself into the low. Start high, and over time, progressively, you will begin to melt down deeper and deeper naturally. Just like doing your splits or anything else. The same thing. But you got to keep that head extended. Once your head falls off alignment, you're not going to sink down anymore. You're off alignment. Why would you sink down? Your body is broken, so the energy is falling down off of the center line. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
You get it?
Oh, I get it.
Now, putting that into the body and actually maintaining that, that's the going full. That's the time and effort. Here you go, my good brother. Thank you. So here we go. Start from, which way should he face, my brother?
You know what? Whatever is going to cause him to not kick that.
I think he's going to have to run the line this way.
All right.
But he can start off facing the front. Yeah, start off facing this front. Right. So feet together. Soft fist. Go ahead and start feeling it out, chest in. Right, round out the shoulders. Right, there you go. Bird chest. So we want the shoulders in front of the chest. That's perfect. Yeah. So that helps round out the back. That gives us this nice round back by having the shoulders in front of the chest. Right out the gate. Now, feel your chin softly tucked in and that crown point extended up. This is a position of power, absolute power, by being structurally sound, not dependent on as much muscular power. More structural. So we start from the structure and then we work out. That got even better by doing whatever you just did. Put your head back up. You just put your head down now. No, still get rid of this again. No, the other way. You're giving it to me more now. Instead of melting, you start to lean back. So the chest goes behind the shoulders. There you go. Chin up. And pull the hands into this part. Right. Boom, don't flex out the chest. Right. So from there, right. So you have to make sure this is ready out the gate. This is good now. No matter if you're playing high, medium, low. So from here, we're going to start out low because he's athletic. He's young. Yoga Ninja. So you already know. But same principles apply. Boom. So start with feet together. Feel your center pole. We call it the Tai Chi pole, like the axis that runs through your head all the way down tailbone. You have to actually feel your tailbone. If your hips are tight, So if you have your hips really engaged, you won't feel your tailbone. This requires loosening the tailbone and actually filling in the lower part of your back. Right, so you want to actually breathe into that space. This is your lower lumbar, like L2, L3 area. We call that the minüte. So with every breath, as you inhale, this has to be full and not empty. Right, and you want to maintain all of these, we call them the fundamentals. Even in motion, because we will begin to move, to begin. Now, as you're standing, you want to get your mind in a state of relaxation. We call that being in Wu-Ji. So when our mind is more relaxed, we can feel the movement. We learn from feeling, family. These are secrets that the ancients learned long before me. I can only give credit to them. So I'll say it again. When we can feel our body more, we learn more. So your body becomes more educated more quickly because it's more in tune with everything through feeling. So breathe in, relax your mind, relax your body. Feel the tip of your tailbone. And then take one, yeah, you just filled it in. I felt that. You just filled that lower back in. L2, L3, right here. We call it minüte. Has to be filled in. Tip of the coccyx goes down. It'll help you get a little bit of a pelvic tilt forward. That'll get you right there. Pull these in just a little bit right here. There you go. So now, as we get this last inhale, we're breathing in our nose and out. We want to exhale, and the body begins to sink down just a little bit, not too much. Still want to feel that tailbone. And from there, your feet are together, right? You're going to exhale, the feet goes out. One. No, turn, just pick up the toes and turn out just like that. Right. And then inhale, don't lift your tailbone up. Keep everything on line. Feel everything that you already established in your being. Back to this again. Remember how you had that? So we're getting to MaBu. We haven't gotten there yet. And this is all meditative mind. Feeling this, checking all of this every time. Now it's right. Yeah, good. Oh, it's very peaceful, very calm, very relaxing. Relax your pelvis. And then same thing this time, but the toes stay down. Pick up the heels and turn out ankles. And then come down. That's two. Check everything that you established a second ago. Reestablish that. Establish that state of mind, that state of body, that state of breathing. Looking out to the horizon. Soft fists, not hard. Feeling your body is floating, it's breathing, it's moving with the breath. As you inhale, it will move naturally because of the diaphragm moving up and down and down and up. And you just pay attention. Remember, it's feeling. Feeling brings more learning. And we're educating the body, not the mind. We want to let go of the mind and not chase the thought. So we want to bring the body and mind together by being in a place called Wu-Ji. 3 is exhale. The heels stay down. The toes begin to turn out, outward, all the way out, as far as you can. Find that same state of being inside and outside. Breath and mind, spine is still vertically aligned. Spine, still vertically aligned. Relax your neck. Relax your breath. Relax your tailbone and pelvis. Sacrum included. Remember, one stance can be played high, medium, or low. Let your body find its natural place. Don't lean forward, don't lean back. On the exhale, toes stay down, heels turn out, ankles go out. Feet are parallel straight. Find that same state of being. Back is straight. Chin is tucked in. Relax your chest, waist, neck. Pelvis is nice and loose. If you're real young and healthy, you may be able to go just a tad bit more. Feel the tailbone down, crown point up. Don't move. Inhale, exhale. Find your center. Inhale. Tai Chi ball. Hold the Tai Chi ball in the center. Chin is slightly tucked in. Hold it. Hold the ball. More energy in the palm. More run ride. Okay. More in the palm. The same feeling you had before. This is MaBu. You can play this high, medium, or low. 2 minutes is the basic, minimum. Now, if your knees are nice and young, yeah, we call it eating bitter. Most people don't want to go there. They surely don't want to pay for it.
Hey, Marcus, let me get you a little more over here from this. Yeah,
So,
just to the left of this blue star. Yeah, that's a good
now
sign.
imagine just having this as one practice that you can just immerse yourself in. 20 minutes.
Yeah, actually, that's what I did when I told you I did that intense leg workout.
You see all
It was this.
those transitions I just went through?
Yes, I did not quite
Making
do that.
sure that you're not looking down the whole time.
I started big deep and did the blocks and the punches.
Start small, get big.
Yeah,
That way you don't miss anything.
right.
Get out, find out what you need
I
to
did it incorrect and
be. No,
hastily.
you didn't.
Mm.
Relax, breathe in, turtle back, round up. Vertical pole. You see the stick at the bottom, right down here. So you want to make sure your tailbone is going down. If you're against a wall, your back could softly touch, but don't use the wall for stability. Just checking yourself. So bring back this to touch the wall. No, leave it relaxed, but bring your body back. There it is right there. Boom, bring your head back. Yeah, now, here, just this part. There you go. Perfect.
You can do this on a wall instead of having somebody, or like a door jam, is that right?
That's what I just said, right. Look at that.
Fantastic.
Now, that's good. Look at that. Everything is relaxed. You got no tension in it. Now, how do you take this to a deeper posture where you can actually, so this would be medium. This is medium. Right?
Okay.
Because low would be the legs are parallel.
Oh, 90-degree angle.
Right. So this is medium. So there's a higher stance, and that's where most Tai Chi people play it. Playing here is fine. Right? But make sure all these things are right. And then you can get lower. Because lower, as you said, so he would be able to hold this on his thighs, because his thighs will be flat.
Right.
Right. And everything else. So I got two here just for that reason.
Here, let me step in here for you.
Start from the beginning.
Start from the beginning. You got it.
So slow. Every gate. Pass through every gate.
Let me hit them with a sideways angle. Walk me through this here, Sifu. So start off here.
Every gate. Every one. Check it. Let me check it. So we use a stick to check for the alignment. Let me check. So bring your head back on. Right. All right, go from there. Maintain that. Do every movement. I'll keep this here actually. Let me see. Go back. Close your feet again. You can get more on that first start out. Don't rush through it. Go real slow. By letting the tailbone go down on the exhale. On the exhale. Same thing dissolve. You don't have to go as deep. Just do what you want. Make sure it's right. Don't use me as a me hook to yourself. Alright, then go 1. You know the count. And then feel yourself. You got out of one mic quick, but keep going. Yeah, I would spend more time in each of those. Yeah, I kept markers in each of those a minute. He found his center, checked his chest, the whole process in each one. All right. You happy with that? Keep going. Remember how you leave with an exhale. And do it nice and controlled, the movement, keeping this posture. This would be great. Uh-oh, I'm in front of the camera talking the whole time.
It's all good.
There you go, go ahead. I know now. Oh, you came off of it. Saw that?
I did, yeah. I tried to move both feet at the same time.
Right. So this is the way they learn. It's about being honest, right? You feel that?
Yep.
Yeah, good. So do it without that.
You want me to keep going?
Yeah. So it's 4 turns, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Heel, toe. Toe, heel, all the way out. So you at a medium level yet? That's a medium, yeah.
This is probably my high.
Right, so one thing I wanted to point out also, if your knees are nice and young and healthy, and your quad is nice and loose, you should be able to have your feet damn near straight. Yeah. And these bones damn near straight. Most people you'll see a big like this, it'll be this angle. But the radius and ulnar, what is this? This is a
Figure?
yeah, the shin, people will call common, right? It should be right. So if you have knee problems, you may want to turn your feet angle out a little bit to take off some of the pressure, especially if you don't rush through opening up the hips, the quad, because that's what happens with a lot of people. They rush through and try to get too deep, and the quad doesn't open. So where's the next joint?
That's exactly what I just did.
It's the knees. That's next. The knees are going to take the hit. Yeah, that ain't easy stance. So now imagine building that up from there. That ain't even, that's medium probably.
Yeah, this is medium.
That's medium
I
low.
can't even balance anything on my quads.
All right, so that tells you you're not ready to go any lower than that for a while until you're able to hang out here. That's just being honest. You feel the difference?
Yeah, I get it.
And then so the slowly your body is going to be sinking in between that, bro. No matter if you're standing, sitting, whatever. That's the whole concept. That's finding your true center, your place of power. All right, so see, the stick is still nice and straight. But as we see, in this way. Right, so it'll roll right off your leg right now. So don't even think about getting any lower for a while. But you'll see a lot of people dropping lower than that. But as soon as they do, their body go forward. Woo! They lose this back arrow. That's the going forward.
Yeah, there you go.
That's an introduction to the stealing MaBu, and then from there, there's the moving MaBu. Will we go into that one now or later?
I think we should roll into it, yeah.
Let's go into it. We won't hold it as long now that we know what the basic MaBu looks like.
Actually, you know what? No, let me just rename this one. Because I named it Moving MaBu. I'll just rename it Still MaBu because we aren't even airing this. I put it public for anybody who caught it right off the bat. They could jump in and see what we were working on. But we're gonna privatize this for another week and just give it a new title.
Different, you know?
Yeah.